I don't think the COVID changed the rock sense in Wuhan. I think just people change. For me, I became more positive. Maybe other people, they're getting more angry about the government, more angry about their life.
在 live house 里面演出，你连一些敏感的词都不能说，因为经常会有一些文化局的人过来现场盯着查，然后一些不能说的话，他们也比较谨慎。歌词也是，就很多乐队的朋友，他们都说，写了新歌，然后 pitch 上去全部都不行，歌词敏感词汇全部都反下来，要重新写。
Rock burst onto the scene in Wuhan in the 1990s. The city proved fertile ground for the gritty counterculture, being an industrialized university city with many blue-collar workers, students and migrant laborers. Punk's anti-elitism and anti-establishment ethos resonated with these young groups. Wuhan is a city with a history of rebellion. Even before coming to international infamy as the epicenter of the COVID-19 pandemic, it was known for its history of resistance, revolution, and dissent. One band, SMZB, infused that spirit of dissent into their music and put punk rock on the map in Wuhan in the 90s. Their songs were controversial, covering political corruption and their disillusionment with the system. Liang Zhang first listened to SMZB's music as a teenager in the early noughties, living in a nearby town in Hubei. He moved to Wuhan in 2005 and started his own punk band, Aberration.
When I came to the city, I knew some guys play punk rock. I think it's more punk rock band than today. There is some good punk rock band like SMZB. In my imagination of rock and roll, that's the real rock and roll. They wrote a lot of songs about the society and about the government. I think lots of Chinese punk rock band, they're influenced by the UK and USA band. The attitude is the same because it's lots of work people with easy to get angry. Like you take a bus, the bus driver always angry. They always like screaming, what the or something. When you're young, when you're a teenager, you got lots of rebellion. You're not satisfied with your family, the place you live. It's easy to listen this music.
Many of the city's punk rock old guard think that punk has died out as Wuhan has developed. Whereas the early punk musicians were poor and angry, today's young people are not. Millennials and Gen Z, despite the pandemic, have had an easier life.
The whole music sense is changed. The classical rock or the punk rock is not popular in today. Electric music is very popular. And second, I don't think the young people was angry like the before. The old people, they can get everything easily. The parents is more more rich than before. When they grow up, they satisfied with themselves, so they not angry, no danger. For me, it's pop music. Rock and roll music or punk rock, maybe it's past.
Li Wanye is a 19-year-old student and keyboardist coming up on the new music scene in Wuhan. She has grown up in a time of China's increasing economic and social power and believes that old-school rebellious punk rock is suffering a fate similar to her band name, Final Stage Lung Cancer.
我觉得就是朋克可能就是知道人比较多，像我们这种00后的话，就是还是朋克有点不太理解，像我就是没那么理解朋克是什么定义。大家就这个年代吧，还是偏流行比较多，然后还有摇滚。朋克的话，我现在挺少看见，所以我也不太懂这个朋克。
Echo plays in disco punk band Space Savage. She feels that the punk rock mentality is changing in Wuhan due to pop culture and increasingly strict censorship. Last year, China banned more than 100 songs it identified as being harmful. And most recently, authorities have set their sights on banning karaoke songs that could harm national unity.
可能最开始的那种之前的那种像生命之饼那样的乐队会少一些，越来越多的是年轻人加入一些很多新的元素在里面，也可能也受一些综艺节目的影响啊，这种大家会尽量把音乐做得受观众喜欢一点吧。有的，只是大家没办法在书面上或者用歌词写出来，然后它会有一些行为啊，或者是一些节奏上的变化，就让你感受到，还有一些 VJ 他们放的一些东西，就不会那么直接。但是如果你懂，你了解朋克的话，你就会知道他们想表达什么。
这样一个社会生活多久？还有多少愚昧的事会发生在这土地上？可是没有人知道，也没有人。
Punk rocker Wu founded SMZB in 1996 and is the godfather of the punk rock music scene in Wuhan, pioneering the genre in the city.
Compared 20 years ago, there's not many or more punk bands show up in Wuhan, even whole China. The generation changed. The way they think is different. Most youth brainwashed by the government, like North Korea or all the communist country. They tell you that you should love party more than your parents, and tell you the leader is like God.
Wu Wei's anti-establishment lyrics have landed him in hot water and led to phone taps and questioning by the police. Wu Wei became a signatory of Charter 8, a controversial manifesto in China signed by dissidents, intellectuals, and human rights activists. Since then, he claims that many of his shows were cancelled and his music has been banned from sale in mainland China. He now lives in Portugal with his wife, yet is still releasing new music.
Yeah, the lyrics, CCP doesn't like take down the CCP, smash Chairman Mao's statue. The police banned me and questioned me in the police station. My phone, my email, all the social media been tapped. You know, I'm in Portugal and they are investigating me again because the last album is printed in Taiwan because there's no factory in mainland China there or willing to print it because the cover is the fallen statue of Mao.
Wu Wei is known for his outspoken anti-establishment views but he was just another outsider looking in when the pandemic hit his home city. When COVID-19 first took hold in Wuhan, the city's livehouses struggled, and there was a worry that the famous punk venues would have to close their doors for good. Changing economic and cultural circumstances have already left their mark on the Chinese punk scene. However, COVID-19 further eroded the spirit of dissent as China became more patriotic due to its perceived successful handling of the coronavirus pandemic. Chinese people became more trusting of the government several months into the pandemic, according to a survey conducted by international researchers. In Wuhan, 53% of university students said that they trusted the national government more than they did before the pandemic, and less than 4% trusted it less. Respondents in Wuhan and Hubei province were highly satisfied with government performance, especially when they compared the COVID-19 situation in other countries. Wu Wei's SMZB bandmate Tu Do also plays for Aberration, and now has a different perspective on punk after living through the coronavirus outbreak in Wuhan.
就疫情这个事情，它刚开始的时候是让我们真的感受到了一些这个社会里面的有一些缺点，包括人性的，包括制度的。但是到后面到现在，其实你看中国的疫情控制的还是比较好的。那相对于国外来说还是要好很多，所以说一个东西它有好的地方，肯定就有不好的地方。这个是让我疫情的时候想明白的一些事情，就是可能我们之前比较羡慕一些其他的东西，其他的制度，其他的这种自由表达的方式。当然这个东西很好，对吧？但是你说现在就对于疫情控制来说的话，它在这个比较封闭的状态下，它可能更好控制一些。当然也都是从生活出发的，但是现在你看，现在其实他个人专辑也好，然后我们自己乐队的东西也好，更多的是比较黑色幽默，或者是调侃一点，或者自嘲一点这种这跟心态变化的关系也挺大的。
For the past year, China has enjoyed a sense of normalcy during a global pandemic. However, with its borders closed, diet of state-run media, censorship and the Great Firewall, musicians like Wu Wei feel that the country is becoming increasingly isolated and insular. The frontman of Wuhan's resistant and rebellious punks is not hopeful about the country's future in an era of self-censorship for self-preservation.
I don't have any hope for the punk or for the rock. I worry about the future of the Chinese. They should be no longer living in the system. You know, some bands, for me, they are just like other young kids. They were brainwashed by the government. Some people, they are more patriotic and nationalistic. They thought the government, they are successful handling the COVID crisis. But I think they are not successful. They are failed.